Welcome back, learners. In our previous lecture, we have finally discussed about how to analyze it, right? So once the structure is analyzed, you can see that there are the different options that you can get it here automatically. Okay, so now let me explain about what are the options that is available. Once the options is available, so the next step that what we are going to do is we have completed the analysis already once, and we have completely designed the footing and the reinforcement details also, and we have completely designed the columns as well as reinforcement details also. So let us go to the design of beams. Okay, so let us go to the design of beams, right? Yes, so now before that, so all the informations whichever you required in the results will be shown in the form of table. Therefore, if you go to the display, okay, and if you go to this show tables, okay, you can see that there will be major three options. So one is model, one is analysis, one is design. With respect to the structure, whatever the information you required, whatever the results you required, everything will be available in the model. And with respect to the analysis, whatever the results you required, everything will be available in this analysis. And with respect to the design, whatever the information is required, everything will be available in the design. But keep it in mind, students, so we are now not concentrating about the design because we have not done the design. There are so many things to be done. Okay, so therefore we will concentrate only on the analysis and model. Okay, we will concentrate only on the analysis and model. Okay, yes. So now according to that, if I click on the model, you can see that there is a first option that what you are going to get called as project settings. Okay, this is not much important, just for the information you are supposed to know. So project settings, in the sense, so when you click on that project settings, again you will be having two options, project control and project information. If you click on project control and give OK, then you can see that it will give you the information about your project. Okay, it will give information about the project. What information it has given? You can see here that the information is what is the program name in which your software this is done. Okay, so the next one is what version of the software that you have used. Okay, what version of the software you have used. Okay, so the next one that you have is level. Okay, the next one that you can have is level, right? So the next one that you are going to have is level. So the next, what is the license number? So this is everything, whatever the details you have, it is all about your software. Okay, so what is the unit, then what is the steel code that you have used. Okay, what is the concrete code that you have used. Okay, what is the composite beam, composite member, what code you have used, composite column what you have used, shear wall code what you have used. So like that, all the informations about this will be available here. Okay, all the informations will be available here. Yes, yes. Okay, so once this is done, okay, so once this is done, the next option that you are going to have, okay, so once this is done, you can see that next option is in the display only. You can have that the another option, what you call it as the project information. So if you click on the project information, you can see that these are the informations available. We have not given any project name. Okay, even the what is the project number, the company name, company logo, engineer name. Then once it is done, who is the one who is going to check it, then who is the one who is going to supervise it. Then the model name we have given, then model description, then how many times the revision number you have done, then issue number. All these details initially you can give, and all these details can be made available here. So that is about these two, about the project settings, that is the project control and the project information. Okay, so the next one that you have is the structure layout. So when it comes to the structure layout, it will give you information about the structure. Okay, it will give you all the information about the structure in detail. Okay, if it will give you all information about the structure in detail. So according to that, the first one will be the story data, right? So the first one will be the story data. It will give you the information about the story, right? It will give you information about the story, how many stories are there. Okay, so what is the height of what is the total height of that, and what is the elevation, which is the master story. Okay, so all the details about the story will be given here. Okay, so then the next one that you can have is, next you can see that grid system. Okay, so this will give you information about the grid. Okay, so grid system and grid lines. Okay, it will give you entire information about the grid. For example, if you click on this, you can see that it will give you grid lines. Okay, so what is the name given to the grid system, so what is the direction of the grid, and what is the ID corresponding to that, whether it is visible or not. Okay, so then what is its corresponding ordinates, everything will be given in grid lines. Then grid systems means what type of system you have, whether you have used Cartesian coordinate system or other. Okay, then what is the origin, x origin, y origin, what is rotation, everything that is about the grid information will be provided here. Okay, that is about the grid system, grid lines, everything, in all the information about the grids will be provided here. Okay, yes. So the next one after this grid system, next you have is the joint coordinates. All the information about the joints of your entire structure will be available here. Okay, all the information about the joints. Okay, you can see the first is joint coordinates, right? In story 2, how many joints are there, what is the labels given to them, and for each label there will be a unique name given. So what is the unique name, and for that each label or unique name, what is its corresponding x coordinate value, y coordinates value, z coordinate value. Like that for each and every joint of the each and every story, so the information will be given with respect to joint coordinates, that is individual. If you want it in the form of summary, then you can see that label 1 is given what is its x value, what is y value, what is z, that is delta z below. So like that z coordinates data means only its x and y will be given for each and every label of the joints you have given. Okay, so therefore this information will give you entire about joint coordinates, means entire information about the joints will be provided here. Okay, yes. So the next about you have is frame connectivity, right? So as the name itself indicate, the frame connectivity means it will give you information only about the frames connections. Okay, that is the column connectivity data, then column connectivity, beam connectivity data, and beam connectivity, right? If you click on that, you can see beam connectivity means in story 2 how many beams are there, their names is given as B4, B5, B6, each and every name you can able to identify there, and its corresponding unique name, and what are its point, and what is its corresponding length of that beam. So that is all information you can get in beam connectivity. Beam connectivity data is also same. Okay, so that is the I point, the name is 2, J point 1. So like that for each and every beam there will be an I point and J point. So that numberings you can going to get it in beam connectivity data. Similarly column connectivity. Okay, the corresponding column number, column connectivity, the corresponding column number and its unique name and its point and length. Similarly column connectivity data also, what is its starting point I point, what is its end point J point. So that is all about the beam and column, that is nothing but the frame connectivity details. Okay, that is about the frame connectivity details. So the next you have is the shell connectivity, obviously. So when you click on shell connectivity, you will get all the information about the shells. Okay, so in each story how many shells you have defined, number, its label, its corresponding unique name, its points, all 4 points will be given, because you know we have modeled it as 4 joints slabs, so therefore all 4 points, its perimeter as well as its area. all the information will be available in floor connectivity, then floor connectivity data, okay, corresponding bits. So that is all about the shells. Okay, so if you click on the shell connectivity, all the information about the slabs will be provided, right? So the next one that you can have is about the objects and elements. Okay, so the next one that you can have is about the objects and elements. Okay, so next one you can have is objects and elements. So when you click on that, it will give you all information about this objects and elements joints, object and elements frames, objects and elements shells, like this. Okay, if you want you can click on, and if you click on OK, you can see that for each and every element what is the label given, okay, what is the object type, whether it is a frame or a shell, okay, then corresponding object level, then its joints. Okay, so that is all about objects and elements. So that first will be with respect to frames, next will be with respect to joints, okay, next will be with respect to joints, and the next will be with respect to shell. Okay, so like this each and every information about the connections will be provided by this. Okay, yes, so that is about this display about the connections you can see here. Okay, objects and shells. The next one, so that is all about that you can expect in the structure layout. Okay, so the next you have is definitions. So when it comes to the definitions, you know the first and the foremost option is diaphragm. If you want any information about the diaphragm, you can see that this is the name we have given and what type of diaphragm, whether it is rigid or semi-rigid, so that will be shown in the form of table. Okay, so that is about the diaphragm. Okay, so the next one that you have is the material property. You can see if you click on the material property, all the materials whatever you have defined, okay, so that information will be provided, whether you have provided steel, concrete, rebar, tendon, whatever. Okay, if you click on material properties and if you give OK, you can see that M20, what is its E value, what is its V value, what is its toe value, G value, unit weight value, unit mass value, FC value, everything it will be given. It is of concrete because we have defined only 20 and 30, right? So then if you click on rebar, we have defined only HYST 415, that is E value, that is alpha value, unit weight value, unit mass value, FI value, FU value, everything with respect to rebar whatever you have defined, that will be shown. Then if you want to steel, we have not defined any steel, therefore it is an default one, it is there. Then summary, if you want, you can see that M20, M25, HYSD, these are the only three materials we have defined, that summary is there here. Okay, so then even tendon also we have not defined. So like that all the materials that whatever you have defined, that information if you required, you can go to this display, and in the show tables you can go to this material properties. Okay, so the next, if you want any information about the frame, you just click on this frame sections, you will get all the information about the frames, what type of frames you have defined, what are the different frames that you have defined. Click on this frame sections. Okay, you can see concrete beam rebar data, nowhere it is required for us, not required. Okay, then concrete column rebar data. Okay, you can see these are the that we have one, beam number 1 this dimension, beam number 2, beam number 3, column number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what is that corresponding values? Okay, so actually this will come when it comes to the design one. Okay, but still the informations are available. Okay, this is about concrete column rebar data. Then frame sections, you can see that these are the corresponding beams we have defined, these are the corresponding frames we have defined, and it will give you corresponding material, and it will give you what is its shape and its dimensions, everything will be given. Similarly, you can get that summary also. Okay, that will be in detail, this will be in summary. Okay, so that is all about the frame information that you can get it. Okay, yes, so once the frame information is done, similarly you can go to the shell information. Okay, so these all informations will be about the shells. Okay, these all informations will be about the shells. You will get the cell section summary. Okay, then the cell section slab, if you have, then if you have defined deck, then that will be obtained. If you have defined wall, that will be obtained, as well as the summary you are going to get. That is about the cell sections. Similarly, if you have tendon, then it will give you information about the tendon. Okay, so here we have not defined tendon, it will not be there. Then reinforcement sizes. Actually, this reinforcement sizes we are going to finalize when we go for the design part. Since we have not done any reinforcing bar sizes, so you will not be getting any information about that because we have not defined. Okay, yes. So model, so we were in the definitions, and in the definitions we were in the reinforce. So the next one you have is the link properties. I told you when we go for the soil structure interaction, we need with respect to the links. So here also we have not defined any links. So therefore will not be available, you will not get any data regarding the link properties. If you want, you can get it here. Then next you have is the mass. Okay, so if you have defined the mass source, I already told the mass source will be defined only when we are doing the earthquake analysis one. So we have not done any one with respect to earthquake analysis, therefore that will not be able to obtain here. If it is required, it will be available here. Then next you have groups. I already told we have an option for defining the groups. Okay, so if we are defining the groups, we will get that information. Okay, so that is all about this, about the definitions. So the next that you have is about the loads. Okay, so if you want any information about the load patterns, you can see that we have defined only dead end line. Those details will be available here. When you define other kind of loads like earthquake and wind, even that will be appeared here. Okay, so that is about the load patterns. Yes, okay. So after that you can see applied loads. You can see what are the loads that has been applied on the frame, what are the loads that has been applied on the shell, right? If you want, you can click on, you can see frame loads distributed. So on each and every beam, on each and every column and its corresponding unique name, what type of designation that you have given, whether it is a beam or a column, and what type of load pattern is that, whether it is a dead or a live, and load type, whether it is a force or a moment, and direction, whether it is under the gravity or something else. Okay, and at what distance if you have applied. Since we are applying UDL, it will be shown 0, this as well as relative distance as well as absolute distance. But if you are applying any one particular point load or any varying load, it will be explaining at one particular point, so therefore that relative distance will be shown. So like this, all the loads which is applied on the frame will be obtained. Then as well as on the slabs, okay, the story corresponding slab label, its unique name, load pattern, direction, as well as what load you have applied. All the informations will be applied here. Okay, so that is about the information about the loads. Okay, yes, so that is about the loads. Okay, yes, so that is all about the loads. So the next one that you can have is assignments. Okay, so when it comes to the assignments, you have joint assignment, frame assignment, and shell assignment. Okay, in the joint assignment also, if you click on that, it will give you all information about the joints. Okay, so whether each and every joint, what is its restraints, everything information you will get it. Okay, joints, assignments, diaphragm, right? Whether the diaphragm is applied or not, that information you will get. Restraints. Okay, like for example, now base, you have 1, unique name is 53. So out of 3 translations and 3 rotations, whichever is restraints, whichever is not restrained, that will be obtained. Okay, you can make some joints only for restraints about some conditions, like only transitions, no rotations, or some joints only rotations, only no transitions, for some joints both combinations. So like that, everything can be obtained here for each and every joint. Then it's summary. Okay, so all the informations which is required about the joints will be shown in the joints assignment. Similarly, all the information about the frames will be shown in the frame assignments. And similarly, all the informations required about the shell assignments will be shown in the shell assignments. So this is all about assignments. and the last one that you can have in the model is about the structure data. Okay, so it will give you again material list by element type. Okay, material list by section, material list by story. Same information given in different ways. Okay, column M25, okay, total weight how many pieces, beam M20 total weight how many pieces, floor M20 total weight. It will not be given in pieces. So like that, material list by element type. If you want it by section, this is the column dimension, column how many pieces, total length, total weight. This is another column number 3 of how many pieces, total length, total weight. This is beam, how many numbers, total length, total weight. Like that, everything you will get it in by section, or even you can get the information by story. Okay, so all these informations with the different ways it will be provided. Okay, yes, so that is about the materials list data. And the last one that you can have is mass summary. So this will give you information about the mass of the structure. Okay, if you click on this and if you go to this, you can see, so the joint mass, it will convert the masses in the form of joints, and at each and every joints the mass will be given. If you want it in terms of diaphragm, the mass of the entire story will be given in terms of diaphragm. If you want it by group, it will be given by group. If you want it by story, it will be given by story. Okay, so this is about the mass of the structure. Okay, so that's all about the one with respect to, okay, about the model. So in the next video, let us learn about analysis. We will not consider design, we will learn design when we do the design, and then in the display options we have some more important option. We'll learn that and we will start doing the design of beams. Thank you, learners.